Fashion Dolls. We are here with CJ Steele, and welcome to the Dollhouse. It is Winston Wednesday, November 19th, and we are here with my very special guest. Now, we had technical difficulties. I couldn't hear CJ, and it was very loud on the phone, but we are here now. So, CJ, how has 2025 been for you so far?
Um, if we're really being honest, my 2025 really started off rough. I was going through a bad breakup, and I spent maybe half of 2025 depressed. And I'm just now literally kind of getting back on my feet. I'm healed now. Everything is looking up again. So everything's good now. But starting the year off, man, it was rough. It was rough for me.
Breakups can be rough and difficult for anybody. It's like death. It's like losing someone that meant a whole lot to you. It's
Hmm.
like a piece of your soul is gone and you're having to regroup and pick the pieces and have to start all over again. And that's just like going into the new year. You're having to regroup and put things together
Hmm.
to you for regrouping. That's the power of resilience. And the power of resilience is that we continue to keep going on. We continue to keep doing what we need to do to make our lives better. So, hats off to you for that. Now,
Thank you.
let's get into the beginning of your story. No problem. Let's get into the beginning of your story. Tell us who is Jay Steele and how many siblings, and who was it that inspired you to get into acting, writing, and producing? Because wears many hats.
Okay. Well, my real name's Camarion. Camarion Steele Jr. I'm named after my father. I have two siblings. I have an older brother and a little sister. We all grew up together, right here in Birmingham, Alabama. Um, and I wouldn't say I was inspired by anyone. Um, I started acting in elementary school, and it just really came natural for me, and it was something that I love to do, and it was something that I enjoyed. I never, I would say I took it seriously because I did, but I didn't take it seriously as much as I take it serious now because I was just a kid. That was just something that I would play around with, but eventually I knew that this is something that I love to do, and this is an actual talent, and I could actually do something with this talent. And so I've been acting since I was in a drama club in not middle school, but I was in a drama club in high school, my 10th and 11th grade year. And I ended up getting a scholarship for theater my senior year of high school. I attended Sneed State Community College, where I majored in theater. I didn't finish. Life happens, so I didn't finish. But eventually, right around 2019, I started doing stage plays again. And later that year in 2019, I got a chance to do my first film. And ever since then, I started filming with everybody. I started booking more. I even have awards for my acting. So just to let you know that this is my craft. I take it very seriously. You know, it's been a wonderful journey, and I can't wait to see where this takes me.
And it's more in the horizon for you. I know it. And we're going to go down the list here. You did a show in 2021, and you've mentioned 2019. It was difficult for a lot of actors, a lot of filmmakers, a lot of creators to be able to get into what they wanted to do because the pandemic happened unexpectedly and we were
Hmm.
all having to regroup and figure things out, like what was going to be our next move, because a lot of things got closed down, like theaters. If you're in the New York area, and I have family there, a lot of actors that I've interviewed have done theater, and they were just like, it
Hmm.
put a pause on everything.
I
Production,
did.
shows were still going, but of course the guidelines you had to go by, the social distancing guidelines and everything.
Yeah.
And it was just like, how did you manage? How did you get through and do your show, the CJ Steele show? And this is in 2021.
Yeah, yeah, 20. Oh man, that was an interesting year. Um Doing the CJ Steele show, that was my first time actually trying to write a script. And I a good friend of mine, Rudy Richardson, and I, we sat down and we wrote the pilot episode for the CJ Steele show. And he wrote half of the script and I wrote like the intro to the show. And he wrote the rest of it. And putting that together really just brought out my creative genes. Because when we did film that, we filmed that at my castmate's dad house, and we filmed for 12 hours, and we
Wow.
filmed every scene that day. From We were there from 8 that morning, because call I made sure that I told everybody that call time was 8 o'clock. You might, yes, I was there early. I had to make sure I was there early, to set up, help set up and everything. But everybody's call time was 8 o'clock, and we didn't leave till 8 that night. So it was an all day affair, and we had so much fun filming that. We got a lot done. The cast that I put together, we're kind of like, it's family now. Um, yeah, it was just amazing time. 2021 was a very interesting year. For us, for me acting and putting that together, because it was very stressful. It was very stressful, and during that time, I was working with someone who was leading me to believe that my show would get picked up, by Amazon. And turns out the guy wasn't who he said he was. So that really put a, a damper into the show. And it really never really got back off the ground after that, because everybody, all my castmates, well, half of my castmates, they went off and to do different things, and I'm so proud of them. Um, and it just kind of like, never got off the ground. But I had ideas for the whole season. Like we had where we was gonna do 10 episodes, and I had ideas for each episode, and it just never came to fruition. You know, everybody had their own thing going on, and everything was just time consuming. And we just couldn't get it together. But hopefully, um, something will change, and I can be able to get it right back, to get it off the ground
And you will. You will. It's the power of manifestation, and what you put
again.
out there will come to fruition. And I'm a firm believer of that. And then you bounced back. Resilience. After the CJ Steele show, you got right into the rejection franchise. You did rejection 2 and then you did rejection 3.
Yeah.
What was it? What made this franchise so iconic that people just gravitated toward?
Rejection, rejection two. I was meeting. I had just started filming. Like, I was just a up and coming actor, and when I started filming rejection, I just had a small part. Like, I had a very small part, and with getting that small part, I met a lot of new people. And the director, um, his name is Kedrick, and but now he goes by Amaya, and she is a very, very respectable person. I love her to death. She's like my sister. She's a really great director. Helped me become a better actor, also by, and she gave me a bigger part with Rejection Three. Rejection Three, I had definitely had fun filming that as well. Um, and it was just giving me my acting chops, really. And she ended up doing the chaotic visual awards, where I walked away with actor of the year 2 years in a row, and I won an award for best lead best lead in a movie. So that was I just thank her for giving me an opportunity to showcase my acting with Rejection 2 and Rejection 3, because that was really kind of set me off and it got me noticed.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you went right on to continue writing. What is the writing process for you like? Do you pull from personal experience? Because I know as a creative, and I said this to my colleague yesterday that I had on the show, Now is the Time. I was saying that, and this is a quote from Nina Simone, to quote her: the
Hmm.
job of the artist is to reflect the times. So do you pull from personal experience when you're writing? Where do you get the motivation to write
I think it will come from personal experience, personal things that
from?
I've been through. Um, because I want to be that type of writer that people can relate to. You know, you've been through this before, so you've seen it, you've experienced it. And I'm also want to be that type of writer where I don't want to write about negativity all the time. I want to write about the positive things in life and positive things that are going on in the black community. Just put black people in a light where it's not negative and it's not dark and everything doesn't have to be, with about drugs and crime and violence. I want to, make stuff about love and peace and harmony and stuff like that, because it needs to be shown. It's a lot right now that is shown, and it shows black people in a negative light. And I want to be that type of writer where I can bring something to life and people can actually relate to it and love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is something that Leslie Jones said that has stuck with me since then, and
Hmm.
that's, I don't want to be typecasted. And that's something that a lot of actors in this business tend to go through, which is they only put you in one specific role, as the
Hmm.
prostitute, as the rug dealer, as whatever, and they expect you to continue playing that type of character. And it's just like,
Yeah,
no, I have range here. I can portray different roles if need be. It's not always all the time I can play these characters. And even with comedians, Marlon Wayans is a perfect example. Like, we've seen him grow up before our very eyes in Living Color,
hmm,
The Wayans Brothers, White Chicks, all of these films. But he has shown us, from Respect to the other project, the Jordan Peele film that he just recently did not too long ago, he has showed us that he is capable of having range. And in this business, you have to be able to have range. And I think
yeah,
that is what makes an amazing actor, is that you're able to
yeah.
go and give
You
us
have range.
multiple
Yeah,
facets
definitely.
of your life. Right.
Yeah.
And that led me to my next question for you. For us as a collective, as creative, what do you think our greatest strength is? What do you think humanity's greatest strength is?
To me, humanity's greatest strength is love.
Oh yeah.
Love is a beautiful thing, and and yes, love is definitely a beautiful thing to share, and it's a beautiful thing to spread because um yeah, that's a really great strength. Because it's I'm gonna quote actual the song by Stevie Wonder, "Love is in need today." We have
Yeah.
so much, we have so much going on in the world right now, and so much crime. It's just like nobody's focusing on the art of things anymore. Nobody's focusing on nobody. It's like nobody has that love that they used to have now, like nowadays, like back then. Uh, that goes towards music, film, art, um, anything like that. It just feels like no love has been put into it. And I want to be that type of actor and producer where when you see my when you see my project on screen, you can see the love and you can see the heart and soul that I put into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you could solve one global problem, what would it be?
Poor. I it it'll be poor people. I It hurts my heart to see veterans who served this country and they don't even have, excuse my language, they don't even have a pot to piss in, and it's scary, and it's I feel like it's not fair because these people literally fought and died for our country. They come back to America, they come back to a place where they don't even they're not even treated like human beings. They treated like animals, and they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have any money. Like, come on, like what is this? What are they fighting for in this country if they come home and they don't have nothing to show for it? I would cure like the poorness. Take your money and put it in where it's actually needed instead of spending it on something that you don't need. You know, I would feel like I would want to be like the Robin Hood of America. Taking from the rich and giving it to the poor because like rich people, you got everything that you need, but at some point, at one point, you didn't some rich people you didn't have money to begin with either. And sometimes people forget where they come from. And I feel like me as a person, if I pray that I become wealthy because I want to create generational wealth. And I'm not going to forget where I come from. I want to give back to my people. I want to, yeah, I want to build communities because, like, it's important, especially with our children nowadays. Like, our children are so, like, everything is just, everything is not what it used to be. And I just feel like, oh, man, I want to give back. I would give back to, like, the world because, like, I would want to cure pollution, uh, like everything that's going on with inflation. Like, why is it so expensive to live now? Back then, when my parents, they were having at least about $500 in rent, and you could get a car for like $1,100, and you could live good. Groceries was like at least $100. Like you could live good, and now everything is just so high now. And it's just weird. It's a weird country that we live in, and we definitely have a weird person for a president who happens to be a convicted felon. But we're not even going to get into that. So
I got into it yesterday. That's why my face looks like this. everything that everything that you're saying, I've been saying. And you got another icon watching you here in the chat. Shout outs to Frank Madman Nitty, who you guys have seen on The Shy. He is here. Shout outs to him. He's been
oh man,
talking
what's up,
about it.
bro? I love that show.
I've been talking about it. And I just talked about it with my colleague yesterday. And the day before, I had someone on. Shout outs to my girl Chastity. She's doing something if you're in the ATL area called Feed the Block ATL, and it's also going to be in South Carolina, and it's in
Okay,
other states as well too. So if you're interested, definitely contact her, Hypnotic Skincare on the gram. And we love you too, Frank, and we got to
love
have
you
you
too,
back on the
man.
show. Yes, how does it feel to have Frank watching us, and there's other people that'll be coming in the chat as well too.
Yo, that is crazy. That is insane because The Shy is literally one of my favorite shows, and I'm very upset with the way that it ended. Man, it was crazy, and we definitely need season 8 to go on drop because we need to, yeah, we need to see what happened. We definitely need to see what happened because my boy Trig can't go down like
That see how God puts things together, and it's
that.
all
Yeah.
about networking. He says we got another season. Got you. Shout outs to my brother K Tukes, host of the K Tuke Spot. Hey brother, welcome, welcome
Hey,
as
how
y'all
you
are
doing?
coming. Hey Diva, we got Frank Madman Nitty from the Shy. And he did when we did our conversation. He did say he can't really give. You know how you sign in India, you can't really give a whole lot. But he said, "Oh, this
Yeah.
season." Y'all are going to love this season. That's all
I
he can
can't
say. He
wait.
can't
And
really
it's the
say a
final
whole lot.
season. So yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Oh my goodness. So you guys have to stay tuned. Definitely. And he said he'll sub to you. So you guys see him in the chat. It's the finale.
Yeah, it's the final season. Yeah, I seen she created the shot, and I've seen her Instagram post where she put after the eighth season, it's like the shot's gonna be done. So I feel like it's gonna be the best season yet.
Gotta stay tuned. Shout outs to
Definitely.
Diva, Alexis. My next question also is, what do you believe is the purpose of human existence? And it goes back to what you said about having kindness. We live in a world where it's like, and Diva can attest, and so can my brother K Tukes and Frank as well. Everybody's heard me say this. It seems like the world is so unparalleled right now, like it's unrecognizable. But for you, what do you believe is our human existence as humans, as creatives?
I feel like I feel like we have forgotten that, and let me say this, the world hasn't always been perfect, because let's not forget that a perfect man was crucified on the cross for being perfect, for not having any flaws, and yet he was crucified for people who didn't believe in him and people who didn't understand him. So when you ask me stuff like, I would say kindness and be kind to one another. And I'm gonna quote one of my favorite artists of all time, Mr. Marvin Gaye. He has one of the greatest
Woo!
albums of all time,
Yeah.
and the title is "What's Going On." Because what's going on? And he's talking about taxes, poverty, killing, the crime is just. And as I said, I would have never seen the day. I would have never thought the day that America would have put a convicted felon in the office. The most powerful man on in the United States is a convicted felon. And let's not forget, we got these Epstein files getting ready to drop. So what's going on? And I feel like people have lost their purpose. People have lost their minds. And it's all about kindness. We have to be kind to one another. You have to be good to one another. We have to be good to one another. Do as you want to other people. If you want to be loved, you have to love people the way that you want to be loved. You have to treat people the way that you want to be treated. Because if you don't, karma is coming. If you don't treat people right, karma is coming, and karma will be with a vengeance, and it never misses. It never misses, and it's never gonna miss. Yeah, it's
And
man,
exactly. And my brother K Tukes just said it. The world is so different yet strange in its own
own
way.
way. Yes.
And I must say this, because I've also been saying it as well too, about the current state that we're in. Uh, when you find people that can align themselves with something, with hatred, with bigotry, that turns the world upside down. When you have people out here who you would never expect to even see align themselves with hatred, with bigotry, it breaks your heart.
Hmm.
And the best thing that we can do is continue to keep loving on each other. And as Frank said earlier, community is important. So
It
we
is.
have to be the community and that bridge. And my father used this analogy when he was talking about my mom, because I have four brothers, two sisters, a pretty big
Hmm.
family.
Yeah.
And he told me that one day, because I said something crazy, and he was just talking to me for like 30 minutes. And he said that your mom is the bridge. What would you do without that bridge? She is the bridge that keeps you and your
Hmm.
relatives together. So we now have to be that bridge for each other. We have to be that bridge to help each other out, to look out for your neighbor. Because in the Bible, it talks about looking out for your neighbor. We're
Yeah,
seeing
loving your
everything that is
neighbor.
going. Right. Love on your neighbor, get to know them, have a conversation. And I think with technology, the power of technology, now we can easily go and communicate. Even, and I asked CJ about the pandemic because it was difficult for a lot of us. If you're an actor or in the entertainment field, you were always on the go. You were on set 24/7. And then when you got a few minutes, you could phone home and Zoom in with your family members, your loved ones, or
Yeah.
whomever. And I think that the feeling that is missing is the human touch, being able to go out and communicate in person. I had my
Hmm.
cousin in the show not too long ago, and before she came on, we've already, got together, and I think this was for Memorial Day, and then we are heading into the new year. Yeah, in the new year, we still talked, communicated. She did her pageant. I supported. I reposted and everything, and then we talk on the phone on the regular. We text on a regular. That's the same for me and K Tooks, who's in here. Shout outs to my brother K Tooks. Y'all head on over and subscribe to his channel as well. Um, and K Tooks will text me if he knows something is up. Like he texted me yesterday. How's my little sister doing? Because he didn't see me live. I typically go live on Instagram. And I
Hmm.
know everybody's like, why didn't she go live on Instagram? Well, I'm in Instagram jail, y'all. I can't go back on there for like a year. I won't be able to go
What?
live for like 2026, all because of what I said about Megan Kelly and what she can do with herself. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to get political. Just check out my show from yesterday, and it'll
Yeah.
explain everything. Because y'all have been seeing Megan Kelly out here. She went after Beyonce. She went after Michelle Obama. She went after Kamala. And I'm like, these are three prominent black women, and you have a history of going after black women and black people as a collective. So I had to call out the racism, and that's all I
Yeah.
say on that. But I did tell her what she can do with herself, and that's why I'm in IG jail for a year. So that's why we're doing my show here on YouTube. You have more freedom, and like Bernie Mac said, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you believe that everything happens for a reason? Like divine timing. Do you believe that everything happens for a reason?
I do. I do. I do. Yeah, I definitely believe everything happens for a reason. Um, yeah, I won't say why I do because it's just like you you ever be just like you just be doing something right
Yeah.
and you kind of have like a vision of what's gonna happen and like you don't know when it's gonna happen but you see it happening and then that time comes and it actually happens and you're just like wow, I saw this coming and yet I don't, yet I don't know what to do about it, you know. But I definitely do believe in divine intervention, and
Mm,
I do believe that things happen for a reason. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
right. And Frank said this. He said, keep up the good work and prayers for your goals. Bro, I'm down if you need me.
I appreciate
That's
that, man.
community.
Honestly, I appreciate that.
Networking amongst yourself,
Definitely.
community more than ever, and giving back. And that's what we have to do. Food pantries, getting involved. Not only just that, sharing a kind word, it doesn't cost a thing. Telling someone something kind, giving them a hug. You never know what a person could be going through in that moment, in that present time in their life, where they need someone there to give them an encouraging word. And I think that that's more important than anything. If you could ask the universe one question, what would it be?
When is Jesus coming back?
Mm. Oh
Cause
yeah, the rapture. They said that
when
Jesus was coming back. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm gonna
that's a
save
whole
that.
nother conversation for another. And I hate when people post like, "Oh, the rapture is coming. The rapture is coming." You don't know when Jesus is coming. You don't know when you're gonna hear them trumpets. It could the rapture could happen literally in 10 minutes, and we wouldn't know. You won't know until it actually happens. And I feel like, people should stop asking that. If you read the Bible, you'll know he might give you a glimpse of
Oh,
what's to come, but it ain't gonna be nothing like you've ever experienced. So that's why I say you better get right before it happens. Because I feel like we're honestly in our last days. Because
and
there's
it
just
does
so
feel
much
like
going
it,
on.
huh?
It's a lot going on in this world, and I feel like we are in our last days. So that's why I say I just try to tell people get right with God, get right with God, and make sure repent as well. And because I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect, and I've repented for my sins, and I just try to make sure that I live my life. I try to live my life right, you know, and I try to, I'm not perfect, I still sin, but God knows my heart. He knows my heart, and He knows that I'm trying, you know. But man, I
And
just don't know.
Diva says we don't know. We don't know when the day or the time when God is coming back. And we seen all these crazy Donald Trump supporters out here talking about they found God, they found the rapture. And y'all keep bothering black people. We will gladly help you find Jesus. We will gladly help you
We will
find
gladly
Jesus.
help
And
you
we've
reach
seen
glory.
the video. We've seen the videos. Yes, y'all get to glory. Y'all will get to the rapture. We'll help you get there. I do too. So much hate, and my mother said this. It feels like the end times, like CJ just said. My mother said it does feel like the end times. You just got to prepare yourself. And in other words, as my colleague Conscious TV would say, get your house in order. Get everything in order because we can't go through this another 3 years. And it's just like you expect the unexpected. You pray to God for certain things. Everybody's relationship with God and with the believer is different. I know I wake up in the morning first thing and I talk to him. And I pray before I go to bed as well too. My mom, she prays over me to make sure that I'm good, that I'm safe. And that's the power of resilience in a community. And not only just that, but my grandmother is 81 years old and she still prays, she still believes, she gets up and she talks to God. And I think that everybody, it's not too late to have that conversation with the believer, with the universe, or whoever you worship. Everybody's religion and everybody's relationship with God is different. So
Hmm.
make sure that you are staying in tune. Make sure that you are taking a few
Yeah.
minutes out of the day to give Him thanks. The universe, God is everything. He's your husband, He's your wife, He is everything. He is the earth, He is the sun, He is the water, He's everything that we look at in nature,
Hmm.
that we see that is beautiful. God is all of those things and then some. And as to CJ's point, none of us is perfect. None of us is perfect in any way, shape, form or fashion. And not just that, but we work so hard trying to be perfect. It was an episode, and I love Bernie Mac, may he rest in grace. It was an episode called Sin Cup, and y'all remember
Hmm.
the episode where baby girl, she was just like, I sinned. Aunt Wanda made candy apples. And so she had to do everything perfect. They done went and threw away Bernie's Dizzy Gillespie collection. They done threw away his alcohol, all of that in the garbage. And he was just like, well, you done told your sister, we're going to get rid of it all. So it goes back to the episode where Wanda made the candy apples and baby girl took one of the candy apples. And she was just like, I sinned. And he gave her a cup, rinsed the cup out, and said, okay, this is sin cup. We we're not perfect by any means. The only we're created in God's likeness and image. And we have these conversations about spirituality and how we want to be perfect and in right in his name. So we all have our flaws. And I say this
Hmm.
all the time on the show. Don't I, Diva? And Diva can attest to this. I say we're not perfect. We are perfectly imperfect and flawed. We have imperfections. We have things that people can see that are in front of us under the surface. And I think with us talking about it and putting it out there, it can make people humanize with us because we all have something in common in some sort of way. We all strive to be the best. We all strive for perfection. We all strive to be in God's likeness. There's things that we can look back on in our past and we have these self accountability conversations. And
Yeah.
people will say things like, if you're sitting in the moment and you're looking in the mirror at yourself and you're like, God, why did I do this? God, what possessed me to do these things right here in this moment, in this given time? What would possess me to do this? And
Mm.
I would say that is the accountability part. That is the accountability part. And so that leads me to my next question. How do you approach situations where morality feels subjective?
All right. When you say subjective, what do you mean?
Subjective, like, okay, by choice, like that sort of a way.
Um, I feel like that's a good question because some things you have a choice, and some things it doesn't require a choice. You just know. Like when you're born, and I'm gonna say this because Eddie Griffin said this. When you're born knowing not to kill your mama.
Mm.
Like you're born not to, you know right from wrong. So in that case, I feel like you do have a choice in with people's actions. You have a choice to do this or do that because I feel like everything in life is a choice. Like, but when it comes to certain things, like let's just say, this has been a heated debate for like I don't know how long. The LGBT community. A lot of people say that being gay is a choice, and most people say that it's not a choice, that you were born like this. Whether you are, whether whoever you are, be who you are. I feel like if you were born like that, and if people say that well, God don't make mistakes. I'm not saying God make mistakes, but if that's who you are, that's who you are. You're not making a
And live
choice
your
by
authenticity. Be
yes, you
bold and live your authenticity. I would
yeah,
rather, and I said this, K Toops can attest to it too. The audience know, they know everything that I've been saying. And that is, I would rather live in my truth and be honest with God than to live in a lie. Because as we're seeing right now, CJ mentioned this felon 47 at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is a liar. And he's got to tell another lie and spin and dig himself out of this hole. How you gonna spin this? And we see them all do it. I would
hmm
rather know the truth and be upfront.
hmm
So live in your truth and tell the truth and be honest. Sometimes people lie to hurt, to keep from hurting the person, but I would rather you let me know, soften the blow, give it to me. We're all adults here, and it's all about having a conversation on what can we do to fix this issue. You didn't have to lie to me. You didn't have to
exactly.
lie to me. And that's what this regime is doing. They're lying to us. They're distracting us. And
Yeah, because you
there's
can't
something in the
distract us.
Bible about, the Bible talks about distraction as well too. And a lot of things that they're doing is, we're going to spin our narrative and we're going to give you this. No,
Mhm.
tell us the truth,
Yeah,
because
tell
you
us
got to
what it
tell another
is.
lie to cover up that lie. You got to tell up another lie to cover up that lie. And then it's just going to be an ongoing cycle. Like at a certain period of time, you got to get tired of lying. Like, be
Exactly.
honest with people.
Yeah, be straight up. Be truthful. Tell the truth. And there's nothing wrong with the truth. Of course, it's gonna hurt. But at the end of the day, we're not gonna be as upset because you told the truth and you spoke from your
Right.
heart and you said what was needed to be said.
Absolutely. And speaking of conscience, do you believe in the concept of a soul?
That's a good question. Um, a soul. I When I was younger, I used to believe in like soulmates and stuff like that. And
Mm.
it even goes down to you remember the Pixar movie that Jamie Foxx did a couple of years ago. It's called
Oh
Soul,
yeah.
where he was like this music teacher, and he was on his way to like get ready for his dream club date with his favorite singer, and he falls into like this hole, and it the hole takes his soul. So I don't believe in I don't want to say I don't believe in it, but I just don't think it's like true. I think when we pass, I think our souls may go into the next generation of our heritage. Like I think I've seen like my cousin, I've seen my grandfather's soul in him because he literally acts like my grandfather, and it's kind of like that goes into like reincarnation. I think I believe more into reincarnation than actually having a soul. Like I think I would say that
And speaking of just the soul in general, do you think that individual action has the potential to make the world better?
they do. I believe with the right soul and with the right heart and the right mind, people have the potential to make the world a better place. It literally takes one person to start the movement, to start the revelation, to start the revolution. And we had that with may he rest in peace, Mr. Hampton.
Oh yeah.
Um he was, he was unalived, and we all know how he was unalived, and he was starting a rain. He called it the Rainbow Coalition, where indigenous people and white people and Puerto Ricans, they will come to, and black people, of course, the Black Panthers, they will all come together in unity. And back then, the CIA didn't like that. They didn't want that. They still want people to be divided when people should just be together in unity and harmony, because all we need is love in this world. It's too much hate.
Yes.
Too much hate. And it's like they want us to be divided, and I feel like it should be divided. I feel like, and it's so crazy that racism still exists. Like I
And I
thought
would
that
never
died.
thought that it would. But it's still here. And it's a quote from Maya Angelou that goes like this: when a person shows you who they are the first time, believe
Hmm.
them what?
Believe them.
Again. And
Yep.
this individual has shown us countless times who he is. People who we would have never thought were racist have shown us who they are. They're now
Hmm.
emboldened. And when a person is emboldened to do such, they will enact because this person has put the battery in their back.
Yep.
And in a way, it puts us as Black people in a dangerous situation because it's just like we already know for us speaking out on these things, for us, not only just that, but even exercising our First Amendment right, all of that and so much more. We already know. So, exactly, believe them, and they have shown us who they are. So, that's my thing. And I'm glad that it's come to the light because it teaches us who we need to avoid. Because if
Hmm.
we need to be united more than ever,
Yeah.
but they're not interested in uniting. They're not interested. They would rather see us divided. And that's always been a strategy of the devil, y'all, which is to divide and
And
conquer.
conquer,
Divide and
seek,
conquer. And with
kill, and
this,
destroy.
exactly. And with this individual, this occupant is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. His job is to divide and conquer, arrive, cause chaos, and then leave. But in this case, he's not leaving. So we all have to continue to keep looking to each other for a good word, continue
Hmm.
to keep uplifting one another. I know I messaged Diva when the election happened in 2024. Me and Diva were just conversating back and forth, and she was encouraging me all the way. United, yes, united we stand, divided we fall. And
Divided
what
we
did Nick
fall.
Cannon say in Drumline? Or was it Orlando Jones in Drumline? One band,
One
one sound.
band,
And
one
that's
sound.
exactly how we should be right now. All in
Yep.
unison, marching together. We're seeing it in the protests where people are coming together, but they don't want that. They would rather break that up. Innocent people. We're seeing innocent people
And
being shot to the ground and hurt.
yeah, and I feel like it starts with yourself, and then it starts with someone who wants to make a difference and shows the world that he wants to make a difference. Because if if one person shows something that the world is not ready to see and people need to see it, most people are going to hop on. They're going to hop on that train. But you also have people within the black community who doesn't want to see that. And it's like crabs in a bucket. And you see that one crab, I mean he's grinding all the way to the top. Then you got a one little other crab that's in the bottom of the barrel dragging him and the rest of everybody else down. And that needs to stop. That needs to stop.
Those are the detriments. Those are the detriments. Absolutely, we are going to fight and we're going to resist and we're going to form community more than ever. In some sort of way, I've managed to form community here in Style by Stevie. In the chat, you guys chat amongst yourselves, and I'm pretty sure everyone conversates outside of the platform while I'm not even live. You guys
Hmm.
communicate and go to K-Tuk's show. I will see some of my viewers and audience members go to K-Tuk's show. If not K-Tuk's, then my other colleague Bubs the God. If not Bubs, then Conscious TV. So I mean, we have managed to form a community online here, and we have to be able to do it in person as well too. And little bit by little bit, that can help us grow. We are our own. We are we got. And as
Hmm.
CJ said, there is a crab in a barrel mentality where we're pulling each other down, and the ones that are detriment that want to keep us down and oppressed, we have to do leave them on the plantation. It's time that you have to leave some people on the plantation. And I always quote Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman didn't take no prisoners at all. She's one of my favorite revolutionaries. And if you are a detriment, we know what she would do. And I said this yesterday with my colleague now time on the show. We know what Harriet Tubman would do to anybody who's a detriment to the black community that's holding the other people who want to get free and stay alive.
Hmm.
We know what she would do with them if she was here. So, yes, the crabs in the barrel, the ones who are a detriment, we just have to leave them on the plantation. And I've got so many people asking me, what do we do? Where do we go from here? You keep living, you keep existing. And the
Exactly.
ones who
Keep
don't want to
loving.
get free, who would rather stay right there on the plantation, let them stay. They are energy drainers at the end of the day. They're just there to get all of your energy. And we're not going to give that to them because we're going to get free. We're going to move forward. And we're aware to everything that is going on. So letting go of people can be hard. You love them, but sometimes you have to let them go. You have
You
to.
do.
You have to move forward.
You
You'd
do.
be like, I still got love for you, but I'm going to love you from a distance because I have to protect my peace. And what you're bringing over here doesn't align with what I have or my views or anything, then we can't be together. And that's the whole conversation about Christianity. They've weaponized Christianity and turned it on us to have us living in their version of what a Christian should be when
When
they're not
Christians are
being
the most judgmental people on the face of the earth.
and they quick to point a finger at everybody else but what
But
they're
woman,
doing. It's an old
yeah,
adage, and I'm pretty sure everybody's heard this old adage. And that old adage is sweep under your own doorstep before you sweep under mine. And
Hmm.
I think that that is key and crucial. We need to learn to, yes, exactly, Diva, leave them behind. If they're not helping or they're not doing anything to better the revolution, to grow or do, help us succeed or move forward, then we have to leave them on the plantation. We have to. That's 100%. Uh-oh, I think we lost CJ. Oh no, he's back. We're back.
Oh, yeah.
But I want you guys to remember that. Yes, it hurts. I've seen videos where people will say, "Oh my God, I've had to cut my uncle off because he voted for the occupant at 1600 in Sylvania Avenue." I've seen people say, "I've had to do this for my peace. I've had to protect my peace because you're judging me when you're not perfect yourself. You have your flaws too. Everybody has their flaws, and there's more than enough room for everybody to go round. But we're busy worrying about what the next person is doing.
Exactly.
And it's just like I'm going in the store to shop, and you're paying attention to what's in my cart. You worry about what's in your cart, and I worry about what's in
Yeah,
mine.
that wasn't mine. Yeah.
So that's what it's like. That's what we're dealing with here. And who are you to judge somebody? Who are you to tell somebody what the perfect Christian is? Y'all are not
Hmm.
Christian. Y'all are Pharisees. Y'all are following what this man is doing. Y'all are seeing what this man is doing with these raids, sending military into states and stuff. Like, y'all are not Christians. Y'all are Pharisees. And the
And
Bible talks
hypocrites.
about hypocrites too. Because y'all want to say we're not godly. No, what your man is doing is not godly
Not godly.
at all.
Tell it. Tell it.
Y'all are not Christians. Y'all are Pharisees. And the Bible talks about a cash cow. Y'all are supposed to worship God and not man. But y'all are worshiping man. This big orange blob. That's who y'all are choosing to worship. Yeah, we don't, because they will try to beat you with that Bible. They will use that cross. Fascism is wrapped in a bow.
Mm,
And they use Christianity as well too, as the topping, as the box. So
mm,
that's what it is. It is Christianity and it is fascism. And they, the white race, have figured out a way how to weaponize it against us as black people because they think that everything should be white, Christian, and pure. God didn't want it that way. God said we're going to add a little bit of everything for everybody. Everybody is unique. And that's what makes this world so beautiful is that everybody is so unique. And yes, in Charlotte, North Carolina, that yesterday on the show, that it was close to home because my cousin who was on the show just not too long ago, she's in North Carolina. So it was I was very concerned because I'm like, when they said they're sending agents in North Carolina, I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? So there's nothing godly about what's going on. You and Jay better preach that truth. Right? It's the truth. They're not
it's
Christians,
the
they're
truth.
Pharisees. Because the Bible talks about Pharisees. They're willing to prosecute other people. As CJ said in the beginning of the show, they 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 nailed Jesus to the cross.
And
And
Jesus
what
was
happened?
perfect.
Right.
Jesus was perfect. And he rose 3 days later.
Exactly. Came right
No.
back.
No, man.
Threw stones at him. All of these things, horrible things.
Horrible.
And that's what
Oh,
this regime is doing to us. But instead, they're going in under the guise of, oh, we are, this is going to be making America great again. No, it's making
making,
America your version of what you think should be normal and what is considered Christian. It's white Christian nationalism. That's what it
mm,
is. And they have weaponized it against us. So it's important that we keep continuing to know that our vision and who we worship, our God doesn't do none of this stuff. Our God doesn't take food from the working class or people who are suffering. Our God helps people. You're supposed to turn to your neighbor. What does the preacher say in church? Turn to your neighbor and look at your neighbor and say something good or say hi to them. That's what
Mhm.
we're supposed to be doing. But they're not interested in doing that. They're interested in being the majority
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
we are the majority. We are here. It's way more of us than it is of them. And yes, Diva, pray. We have to. We have to stay uplifted in prayer. We have to. And that's key
Hey,
and crucial.
I'm so sorry, Miss Stevie. My boss is texting me.
Oh, you gotta go? Okay, fashion
Yeah.
dolls. Oh, we're gonna wrap here. I'm gonna bring CJ back because y'all enjoyed the conversation. And joining me tomorrow, we have Mel J. But before we let you go, CJ, any words of encouragement? And where can everyone follow you?
Okay, so everybody, you can follow me on Facebook, and my Instagram. My Facebook is CJ Steele. That's capital C, capital J, Steele. You can find me on my Instagram at the dot CJ Steele. That's THE dot CJ Steele. CJSTEELE. And my closing remarks, I just want to say, be yourself. Be who you are. Love, live, pray, and just be you. And love yourself. And love everything about yourself. Love everything that you do, because at the end of the day, all you're gonna have is yourself and God. And God is always gonna be here for you. He's everything. He's all around us. He's watching us right now. Just be you, be your authentic self, and don't let nobody, and I mean nobody, judge you for who you are. Love, love, love. Thank y'all for having me on. Thank you so much. It's been a blessing. Just thank you so much. And hey, you can reach out to me anytime. I always got my phone in my hand, and I always text back. So definitely, just if you ever want to reach out, I'm here.
I definitely will because I'm going to bring you back for season 20. Yes, Style by Stevie will be back for season 20 in
Okay.
2026. And I'm going to send you those dates. You guys, I will put the date out that we will be returning for the new year in 2026. But we have more shows to wrap up and close out the rest of this year, 2025. So you guys will see the December lineup and then the January lineup for 2026 and so forth and so on. So, yes,
Okay.
we will be back. And I will close the show with today's final thought, which comes from Buddha. And Buddha says, every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters the most. And I want you all to remember that. Every day is a new start, is a new beginning. So remember that. And most importantly, try not to judge people. And as CJ just said, be yourself, be authentic. Stevie, you look so beautiful. Thank you, Diva. And a very special thank you to Melanie Nalamai Bridges for making me look beautiful. So I love you all, and I will see y'all tomorrow with rap artist Mel J. Y'all tune in tomorrow at 4 and check the reminder. It will be up. Hopefully, it works. I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate here in the YouTube streets. It's so easy for me over there on the gram. So we gonna get it here on YouTube. And make
All
sure
right.
you subscribe, hit that bell so you'll be notified when new shows are posted. And talk
All
to
right.
you then.
All right. Thank you so much.
You too.